This journey starts with a 5 a.m. flight from DC to Charlotte. I was there so early. I was there before TSA even opened, so I had to sit on this wall and wait like a doofus, okay? But I was so excited to be on my way. I decided to get a Starbucks drink. The Starbucks drink, I got some strawberry acai thing. It was so sweet. I regretted it so much, and it was like $10, okay? So this morning was off to a rough start. But soon I was on my way. I got a whole row to myself. I was sleeping like a little mouse on the back row of the plane. I also saw this sign that says like, please turn off all electronic devices. And I thought it'd be really funny to take like a picture of it on an electronic device, but then accidentally my flash was on. So here's the product of the most embarrassing video of my entire life. I landed in Charlotte and had to walk roughly 8,000 miles through a construction zone to get to my gate. And also in the stores, I kept seeing these little pickle shots. If somebody from North Carolina can tell me what is going on with these, I would love to be in on whatever's going down. Like, I love the energy. I'm a little confused by it. I went to Einstein's and I got a 6-cheese bagel, and I just have to say, I thought about it. I'm not quite sure what specific 6 cheeses could be in there. If you guys have any clues, let me know. I would love to find out. But yeah, I just sat here because I had like a 3-hour layover. Yeah, the cream cheese distribution was a little rough. But yeah, shout out Einstein Bros. Good bagels. My flight from Charlotte to Daytona had literally only people that worked for the teams on it, and then me. So I felt like a VIP. I was like, of course, me, a famous podcaster, am also a motorsports insider. I'm just like you guys. I'm also super cool and super, VIP. So yeah, it was a really fun flight for me, not them. So when I landed, I had about 2 hours until qualifying starts. So I grabbed my bags and I rushed to the hotel. I dropped off my bags. I changed in the bathroom of the hotel, which was really disgusting. More on that later. And I rushed to the track to find my friends who had actually driven here and were here before me. I will say, though, what is so cool, I could hear cars on track from the airport. Like, maybe those V10 guys, those guys that talk about engine sounds all the time, maybe they're onto something. I'm not going to lie. I was kind of like, those cars sound sick. I was super lost. I just wanted to go in. Couldn't find an entrance. I was like, please, somebody take my ticket. And then I finally found an entrance in this tunnel and I was on my way. Okay, update 1. I am extremely lost. I have no idea where I am. I'm trying to find Celine and Marley and Ryan. I have not a clue where I am. I did eventually find them. It was very hard to do so, but I found my way. I also had to go through security to get in the fan zone, which is so funny because we found out later in the weekend you could just go through different entrances and not have to go through security. There was like no security anywhere but one entrance to the fan zone. You want to say hi?
Hi!
I found you guys. You guys made me go through the TSA level security just for us to walk right back out.
Yeah, my bad.
It's all right. Tell us.
I need a beanie.
You need a beanie?
Oh, my ears.
Man, MJ, I miss you already. Remember when you were getting a beanie? In Vegas, she got a beanie. You heard the girl needed a beanie. So we went shopping. First, we went to the AO gift shop. Their stuff was super cute. It's literally too cute because it was already sold out of their beanies and a bunch of other stuff. And it was literally Thursday and we just got there. We also went to the Iron Dames gift shop. This was a favorite. We went here many times throughout the week and their stuff was so cute, so well made. The people that worked there were so kind. Every time we came back, they recognized us from the time before we were there. They also were like interested in our podcast. They said they were going to give it a listen. They also had a thing in the back where you could write your dreams on a post-it note and put it on the wall. Kind of a tribute to their livery for this race, which was a bunch of pink squares with dreams written on them from Iron Dames fans. It was so cute. It was so precious. I love you, Iron Dames.
Okay. I'm kind of stealing yours a little bit.
No. It's okay. We can have the same dream.
We do have the same dream.
Your dream coming true doesn't stop my dream from coming true.
We can achieve
What
our
if
dreams
both
together.
of our dreams come true?
Together at the same time.
Thank you, Iron Dames. While we were writing our dreams, the Iron Dames social media lady was so nice. She was talking to us about our podcast and talking about working with more podcasts like ours in the future. So if you're watching this, shout out, girl. My dream was that Lapstone would someday get one of those fancy YouTube play buttons. So subscribe to make it happen. Anyways, I was super hungry, so I went and got some expensive ass pizza. It was like $17.
We're walking in.
Oh wait, let me make sure I'm not eating.
Race fan! I'm like Dave Portnoy.
I know what I need to do. That's right, I know what I need to do.
Except not a piece of shit. I'm like Dave Portnoy, but I don't suck. Yeah, it's alright. It's good pizza. Alright.
With my belly full of some alright pizza, we thought, let's go to the grandstands and watch qualifying. That'll be so fun. So we got on this little tram. These trams are everywhere, okay, y'all? If you ask me where any of these trams took you specifically, wouldn't be able to answer it, but there was like 3 different tram lines. We took this one that was supposed to take you over to the grandstands. It was actually so nice because it also took us through just all of the campgrounds and all of the infield hangout areas, so it helped me get the lay of the land a little better, get a better understanding of, you know, where everything was. But we had some unfortunate news when we reached the other side.
Okay, so we went all the way around on the tram just to find out. Sorry, there's a speaker. Hold on. Just to find out the grandstands are open tomorrow, not today. So that was a little bit of a waste, but we did get to see the cars from the tram, which was fun.
Luckily, it wasn't too crowded, and there was still some time left for qualifying, so we found a perfect spot on the fence to watch the rest of qualifying from. And we spent the last couple hours of the day at the track being just kind of nosy fans. The amount of access you get at an IMSA race comparatively to any other motorsport event is crazy. We could go right up to the garages. We could see all the drivers walking from their trailers to their cars. There was even a place where you could look into the back of the garage and see right up close the mechanics working on the cars. Now, I will admit, looking at them through the windows, it kind of felt like we were at a zoo, and I kind of felt bad being all up in their business. But it was really fun to see what they were working on after qualifying.
This is Gorgina. I just want to put my fingerprints right on. I was going for a second.
Hello everyone, this is Editing Andrea, and I'm here to tell you a scary story. And no, the scary story is not me with wet hair, okay? Don't be mean to Editing Andrea and how she looks, okay? So, this scary story is about how we booked a hotel that ended up being the scariest hotel I've ever been to in my entire life. So, months before we were going to go to the Rolex 24, we booked a hotel that's very, very close to the racetrack. Obviously, a lot of the hotels are very booked because of the race, but also it's really close to the airport, and airport hotels are very busy, blah, 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 whatever. Okay, so we paid for this room. It was actually a little bit pricier than most hotels that I would pay for, but we were splitting it with so many people, it really didn't matter. And when I booked it, I think it had about 3 stars on like Travel Advisor and 3 out of 5. And the reviews were usually like, okay, nothing fancy, does the trick. It's just like a regular schmegular like airport area hotel, like a very like Days Inn, you know, Quality Inn, like that type of vibe, okay? So we show up to check in, and I was not with them, but Celine from Podium Pop and Marley and Ryan, they had drove in earlier than me, and when they went to go initially check in, our room was not ready, but they told me that all of the workers were getting absolutely screamed at by the manager of the hotel because the lobby was absolutely disgusting. And he was like apparently yelling at them like, what are people going to think about the rooms if this is how the lobby looks, blah, 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 blah. So when I heard this story, I was like, that makes sense, because when I went to the lobby, it was also very disgusting. I had to get changed in the bathroom because I was going to change before I went to the track, and there was like, you know, a mysterious liquid on the ground, okay? It wasn't a nice bathroom. I got changed by like stepping on top of my shoes. Do you know what I'm talking about? That's what you do when you're in a dirty bathroom. But I was like, okay, well, it sounds like the rooms aren't dirty, and he wants the lobby to reflect that the rooms aren't dirty, right? Wrong, okay? We roll up, and we check in. Marley, who was the one who booked the room under her name, had to sign a receipt, and then she was also given a mysterious contract. The mysterious contract will come into play later. We go to the rooms. The rooms are crazy, okay? We have 2 rooms conjoined. Celine and Ryan and Sarah, the Paddock Princess, and yeah, okay, so they're in one room. Their room, it doesn't close. Why, you ask? Because the fucking hinges are busted off the door. Okay, this door is like completely broken. The door doesn't close. The room is wide open to the hallway. That's an immediate, probably not going to stay there. But me and Marley, we walk into our room. This room is crazy, okay? First of all, the curtains are black with God knows what, mold, smoke, who knows. It is so hot. It is like 73, 74 degrees in the room, which is like kind of crazy hot for Florida. And also a hotel room is supposed to be cold and crisp. Everybody knows that. Then there's like, there's the mattress, and then there's like the box spring or like the mattress box. And normally on a hotel, as we were talking with them amongst ourselves, there's a cover around it. And whatever's under there is none of my business because it's a cover. Yeah, this one did not have a cover, and the mattress box spring was very much my business because it was like black and like fucked up. It looked wild. Celine pulls back the bedding to check for bed bugs. That mattress looks crazy. It looks crazy, okay? I was like, But we were under the impression that we had already paid for this room and that they weren't going to let us cancel. So in this video clip I'm about to show you, many people in our group were trying to be like, it's not that bad. No, I wasn't having it, okay? Because this is not what it looked like when I booked online.
The room's fine.
It's hot as fuck.
It is really hot in here. They're like a little dingy, but
The rooms do not look fine. What
Well,
are
compared
under
to
the
the outside.
mattresses?
Oh yeah, that's actually disgusting.
yeah. I don't really know what we do in this situation.
Okay, so just for reference, this is what it looked like when I booked online. You can see why I was angry. So we start putting our heads together and we're like, let's see if we can get a refund. And then somebody was like, what was that mysterious contract we signed? What if that contract is that we couldn't get a refund? And I was like, no, there is no way. No. I am checking the reviews while we're trying to figure out what we're going to do next because I feel like I'm catfish. I'm like, this place doesn't even look like what it looked like online when I found it. And like, did I book the wrong hotel? What is going on here? As I'm looking at the reviews and the pictures to see how I was catfish, I realized in the last like 2 or 3 months, there was a crazy influx of negative reviews that were not there when we booked because we had booked several months ago at this point. The reviews were saying stuff like, there's cockroaches, there's rats, there is people doing drugs in the hallways, and there is prostitutes here, and there is human trafficking in this area. I was like, because we're like a group of like young people, predominantly young women, shout out Ryan, and also their room that was conjoined with ours is now broken, so they're not going to have a conjoined room with us. I was like, we are not doing this. So I was like, let's go figure out what that contract said and let's see if we can get a refund. So me and Marley, we stormed down there. I'm being firm, okay? I'm in my firm mode. And I talked to the worker and I was like, can I see the contract that we signed? I look at it. The contract says, A, that they have no responsibility for your car being broken into and all your belongings being taken. Don't love that. The second one says you cannot live in this hotel. You are not allowed to stay at this hotel for longer than 10 days, and you cannot live in this hotel. It's a weird thing. Weird thing to have to put on there. Do people live in this hotel? What's going on at this hotel? I don't know. But I asked for a refund, and he is all game. The guy at the front desk is very nice, and he's like, I'll give you a full refund for all 3 nights that you guys were supposed to stay here. It's really no issue. He at first was like, so just so you know, we have a nice part of the hotel and then we have a not nice part of the hotel, and you're in the not nice part of the hotel. We could show you a room in the nice part of the hotel, and if you like it, you can stay there. If not, you'll still get your refund. And I was like, well, we can't have like our rooms separate from each other because it's like, I already started to feel unsafe when I read about, I didn't tell him all this, but like when you read about like human trafficking and like crazy stuff that's going down at this hotel, like I'm very like serious. Like I wanted us to be in rooms next to each other. And he was like, I totally understand. So he gave us a refund, and he was actually very nice. And it's not his fault that the hotel he works at is crazy, okay? I used to work at a hotel. It's not his fault that hotel's crazy. Be nice to front desk people, unless they're mean to you. So while I was sorting out the refund, Celine was looking for a place to stay. And she finds an Airbnb, and she reaches out to the Airbnb owner. And obviously it is like, we're basically asking to come stay right now. At this point, it's like 7 o'clock. And we're basically saying, like, can we come book your Airbnb right now? And the lady, I definitely think, was like not really happy about that until I think Celine told her the situation. And then the Airbnb host was super kind. She was like, yeah, we'll make sure you get your keys, whatever. This Airbnb was farther away from the track because it was actually on like Daytona Beach. But it was cheaper than the hotel and no human trafficking. So I was like, cool, let's go there. So we grab all of our stuff and we head to our oasis on Daytona Beach. And I genuinely think that we were there by 7:30. So all of this went down in like an hour and a half to 2 hours. And all of us were on little to no sleep. So I'm very proud of us as a group. We handled this delightfully. Let this be a lesson to, what is the lesson? I don't think there's a lesson here. I think the lesson is just, well, we got fucked. So that's the story on how we almost stayed at the scariest hotel in the entire world. And then we just like didn't. And we went to a nice Airbnb. I once heard a tour of the Airbnb. It was delightful. So shout out. So if you'll remember, we started our day today at 3 a.m. at the airport. So after that whole debacle with the hotel, it was so nice to go to sleep with the sound of real waves. We were on the beach. It was a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, and there was also an extra bed in the living room that was a pull-out. So Ryan slept on the couch. Me and Marley shared a bed, and then Celine and Sarah shared a bed. There was a kitchen. There was a coffee maker. The bathroom was clean. The water was warm. There was no rodents. There was no roaches. There was no human trafficking. Our car was in a garage not being broken into. So to the lady who owns this Airbnb, thank you for being our savior. Thank you for saving the Rolex 24 trip. We woke up the next morning with a mission in mind. We were a little farther away from the track, so we knew we'd have about a 20 to 30 minute drive, depending on traffic. We also wanted to get some essentials so that we didn't have to keep spending $7 or $8 on drinks, or even worse, $17 for food, when all we just needed was a little something to get us by throughout the day. So we decided to stop off at the Target that is right across the street from the Daytona International Speedway.
You pay for that? Mm-hmm. What are you eating? Mini muffins?
Mini muffins for breakfast. And my Starbucks sweet cream cold something.
Hell yeah. Sweet cream cold something.
I did not order a sweet cream cold something, although that sounds delicious. I ordered a pistachio latte, and here we'll do a little haul. I got some Sharpies to get stuff signed with. Too bad I left those in the car and didn't even get to use them during the autograph session, huh? I bought this shirt because I did not pack well, and I needed a little something to wear that was comfy and athletic, and it was on sale. Oh, hi, Celine. Thanks for keeping watch on the camera while I got my coffee. There is said pistachio latte. It's actually quite delicious, by the way, if you haven't tried it. Even if you don't think you like pistachio, the pistachio latte is pretty good. I got Gatorade because, like, water was not just doing the trick to hydrate me. I got a Celsius because it is a 24-hour race. Flavor blasted goldfish, specifically flavor blasted. And last but not least, some delicious raspberry jelly Uncrustables. Oh my gosh, she's a classy lady. Those things are expensive. We then made our way to our parking spot that we had purchased because our Airbnb was so far from the track. We needed a place to put our car and all of our belongings. And then we took this tunnel to the infield. Love this little tunnel. We single file walk through this tunnel with a bajillion other people.
All right, guys, we're going to the mines.
We're going to the mines. Finally, a nice day of work.
Women yearn for the mines.
I'm gonna go look for some gold.
District 12 Corps.
I don't want to join the Hunger Games.
Oh, we're already in it, babes.
We then made a little stop over to the IMSA gift shop because we needed to find stuff to get signed during the autograph session. So I was going to use the Rolex 24 poster that they were giving away for free at the guest services, but some other people in our group had some really cute ideas of things that they wanted to get signed that they were going to buy at the IMSA gift shop.
What'd you get?
I got a poster that looks like that, and then I got a license plate that I'm gonna have them sign and autograph sign.
Is that gonna go on the podium pop shelf?
I think it may. I don't
Wait,
have
let
any
me see your
IMSA stuff
hat for the vlog. Wow. Wait, which one's which?
The P. Oh, I can't.
Oh.
I think this is Pietro.
Okay.
They're P, and then Enzo.
Oh yeah, that would make sense. Probably didn't need to ask that, but hey.
That's a cute hat.
Yeah, it's a kid's hat. I'm gonna get this sign. Honestly,
cute.
I'm like tempted to get the same hat.
Yeah.
Okay, then do it. Go
Should I
off,
get
queen.
that instead of the because it matches my.
Yeah. I think I'm just gonna get this. Wear that. I'm thinking like a pair of fishnets.
that are sure to cover
Nothing.
your they don't cover your boobs, but they're so long that they cover your no-no.
This with like a Justice lace cami would fucking eat, bro. That would eat.
We've got to get our hands on a Justice. Have one.
Why?
Sometimes you just need to keep it.
I know that lace
I have
is
a
like
black
ripped
lace
as
one.
fuck.
Yeah, it is. And I have a black lace one, and it would look perfect.
Yeah, I would wear that with a black lace cami.
Like what people did in the 2000s, layer another tank top.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's exactly what I'm thinking. Yeah, I'm thinking a black lace with a white lace, Justice cami.
So good.
Yeah, okay. All right, you guys need to go check out.
Also, as just a little side note, I had bedazzled my own custom ear protectors for this race, and it ended up being such a good idea. I think my ears would have been literally bleeding after 4 days of these cars if I hadn't had them. It was so loud, and it was honestly so nice to just have a little peace and quiet while still getting to watch the cars go round. Our group conjoined on top of the garages in the fan zone, and we talked about our game plan for the autograph session. There was a map, there was a bunch of different stations to go to, but you only had an hour. So we decided we were going to go our separate ways, go wait in the lines for the people we really wanted to meet because we didn't want people to miss out on their favorite drivers because they were waiting with the whole group. So I went by myself, and I was the first in line for the Trackhouse team's autograph line, which ended up being such a good idea. This line ended up being the longest of all the lines I saw, and I was first in line. So exciting. I also met some really cool NASCAR fans and got to chat with them a bit. As a newer fan, it was really cool to talk to people who have been to like hundreds of races, and also some of them also created content, so they gave me a bunch of really great tips about making YouTube videos. The line ended up getting super long, but I was here for about 2 hours waiting for autographs, and I just ate my little Uncrustable, and it was delightful. Had a lovely time.
Sorry, y'all. They just gave me the go-ahead. It's super crumbled, my bee. It's been through a tough day.
Oh, you have to have a Red Bull all the time too, huh? No, not really. That's gonna be cool.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Have a good one, y'all. Sorry it's a little crumpled. Thank you so much. Thank you. Hi.
How are you?
Good, how are you? Thank you. If you wouldn't mind, that would be nice if you guys could all sign it for me.
Enjoy the weekend.
Thank you. You guys too. Thank you so much. Sorry.
You're good.
Yes, please. If you wouldn't mind. Can I sneak this in there? Yeah, thank you. Seems like you guys had a system down, but... Hi.
Hey.
What up?
I just met Arthur, so.
I figured that was going to be a really long line. I'm glad you did that one first. Hi, sorry. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. We're here for all of you.
Thank you so much. Thank y'all so much. Thank you so much. Have a good day, y'all. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
It kind of just shuffles the deck a little bit, doesn't it? This, like you say, the timing of that.
Thank y'all. What was your take on the chicken tenders?
So they were really good in my opinion. They were small, and I would have liked a couple more. There was like, I would say it was like 95% fries, 5% chicken, but they were pretty freaking good. So.
The way you adjusted your glasses.
I go, pretty freaking good.
One of my favorite things that we got to do all throughout the weekend was just walk through the garages at various points, whether it be after a practice or, you know, before the big race. You would see so many of the drivers and the important team members milling about. At this point, I'm not quite sure why, but it seemed like every team was absolutely stripping their car down to the bare bones. And this was obviously right before the big day. The race starts tomorrow, so I'm not quite sure if there's something that every team is looking to do after that last practice, but I did find it very interesting. We got to see very up close and personal with these cars. Like, girl, their tops were off. I was like shocked, but I don't really know that much about cars, to be honest. Lots of people in the garage seem to know a lot, and they absolutely loved this point of the day. And it was very interesting also just to see all of the pieces of the bodywork that can come off and how it can literally just be like a metal frame, and it's somehow that's a car that can go, you know, 100 something miles per hour. This was us just being like, oh my god, how immodest of these cars. Top off, showing it to the world. All right. But it was very fun, and this was also kind of our last chance to walk around before things got too crowded. I would say Thursday and Friday, it was so nice just having the 4-day pass, getting to see all of this, because to see all of this on the day of the race would have been extremely challenging.
Oh, they're putting their coats on.
They're cold, just like me.
Oh, they're putting their coats on.
They've got a spare kind of.
They're going to bed. This one's not going to bed yet. Good night, little guys. Do you think they got a good night story? Oh, when I'm
Good night, sweetie.
We then enjoyed our last moments of peace, knowing that tomorrow there was going to be twice as many people at this race, and we were going to be sleeping in these grandstands. On the way home, we also decided to stop at Waffle House. Now, this was my first time at Waffle House. I think it was a most delightful experience. For a while there, we were the only ones in the restaurant. Our waitress was so kind. She had the most beautiful handwriting on those little handwritten tickets that they give you to take up to the register to pay with. And I was excited for some breakfast food, and I was excited for a waffle and this crispy Coke Zero. Now with the waffle, I did get chocolate chips on it. I think that might have been a mistake. Next time I think I would just get regular waffle, but it was so good. Also, eggs cooked to perfection, bacon, crispy, hash browns, perfect. I will say the toast wasn't that good. Okay, Celine got a patty melt with a side of waffle. Like, what is that combo? I don't even understand. Day 3 began with us checking out of our Airbnb and saying goodbye to the comforts of a bed because we were clocked in for the full 24 hours. It took us a lot longer to get parked and get to the fan zone than it had any other day because there was just so many people, but we headed straight for the grid walk, and so we kind of got corralled into the grassy area in the center of the track, and we hung out there while they did some of the formal introductions of the drivers as well as a sort of parade with the teams. And I was not aware how close we were going to be able to get to the cars until the grid walk officially started.
Hot track. We're not even on yet.
This is where things started to get just so overwhelming how many people truly were at this race. It was really cool to get to see the track, really to like notice like the banking in person was really awesome, and to see all of the seats while they were empty before people had ventured into the grandstands. And honestly, it's really cool because this is probably the Only time I'll ever get to just hang out and walk on the track at Daytona. But this is what a grid walk looks like at an IMSA race. There is so many people just milling about. There is kind of a barrier of people that work on the cars, protecting the cars from randos just coming up and touching them, because there is no real like barrier between you and the cars. We were walking in the pit stalls at this point, which was really cool. We saw drivers, we saw mechanics, we saw so many important people for the teams trying to just do their job to prep for the race, while idiots like me were absolutely in their way. There's also a lot of pushy people with very fancy cameras trying to get up close, and then there was just like me with my iPhone being like, can I look at the car, please? We did manage to get pictures with the cars that mattered to us in our group, but it was an extremely stressful experience. Super cool, but still stressful.
Oh, hi. Big fan. Nice to meet you.
We then found our way in the grandstand and section 170, which ended up being a prime location that Ryan had scoped out for us the day before. It allowed us a perfect view into turn 1. It allowed us a view of where kind of the road course part ended and they entered onto the oval. It also had a screen so you could watch the entirety of the race and what was happening elsewhere on the track. This ended up being quite a difficult thing to find. There was not very many screens, so if you wanted to watch the race, this ended up being a prime place to do it from.
It's on the beach, coastline. The green flag is in the air for 2025 on the start of the
We ended up sitting here for about the first 3 to 4 hours of the race. The grandstands cleared out really fast, but we just enjoyed sitting, watching the sunset, and watching the racing. This, I believe, is Alex Palou's yellow flag, where he unfortunately just had to pull over and be sad on the side of the road. But we did know that we definitely needed some supplies for the night. It was getting colder, and we were in need of some extra layers, as well as potentially sustenance, food, water, those sorts of things. So we needed to make a little trip to Target before it closed.
Okay, so we were at a crosswalk and this guy was standing behind Celine. Here, you film this. You film this. It's a front-facing camera. Okay, so I make a joke and he goes, and then he starts coming up behind Celine and like touching on shit.
Just touching my bag.
Touching on shit. And then I was standing.
This
in
was
front of
Andrea's
Celine.
face. This was Andrea's face. She's like this. She tells the joke. She's like, and then she goes.
And I look at him, I said, what are you touching on, my friend? And he goes, he's touching on like her boxed wine. And he goes, he's saying something like, is this beer? Like, can I have some? I said, no, that is wine and it's for my friend. And then we started running, basically. We were walking so fucking fast. And I don't know, I was like trying to get away from him. And yeah, Celine was like, we're kind of really still running, huh? But
Oh my God, that was so funny. Because I didn't know that was happening. I just saw your face, and I truly thought that you were mad that he was laughing at your joke.
Well,
I thought you were like, this isn't for this joke's not for you.
yeah, the joke like wasn't for him though.
Yeah, but it's true.
Aww. Wait, these are so cute. Guys, what if we put our drinks in here?
Do I need a little frog cup?
No, I feel that I've triggered like some consumerism in Marley.
Okay, I don't need it.
But be mine. But be mine.
No, that's
But it
right.
matches my stuffed animal.
And your
And
little
my water
fraggy thing. Wait, do they have those here? Where are those bitches?
Oh yeah, do they have them?
I need one. Where are you?
I found them.
Ah!
Ryan found them.
Oh, yeah, right.
Marlon's
Wait.
taking all the credit.
So you have the heart, and you have the froggy. Should I get the cupcake?
You should get the cupcake.
Okay.
I think that's the only other
A
option.
variation.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you have to name it an H name that has 4 letters.
Wow, that's
There's Hugo, Huey,
Hugo?
You could do Harry, Howie, or Harry.
I think Harry.
But H-A-R-Y, not H-A-R-R-Y. You can't do that.
I just don't know if we need to specify the spelling. I don't know if it'll ever
if you
come
ever put
up.
it on paper, it has to be H-A-R-Y. I don't know if I'm that.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Meanwhile, I'm just gonna get.
Wait, I love these. Maybe I'll just get these. These are my faves.
Why don't we just do this?
Is it glass?
No, it's plastic.
But that's just not big enough, I think.
It's 4 of them, and it's $6.99. This is $4.99. This is more for less money.
How much is in this? The way I can just take it out is crazy.
Wine math. She's like, it's not enough.
Wine math.
I bet it's more. I'm about to grab it from your hand.
Please do, actually. I was just hoping.
This is just pink flavored. What does that mean?
Okay, 187 milliliters. So that's, you do that math. 4 times 187. And this is 500. This is more. For less. 758.
No, not for less.
Yeah,
Wait,
it is. 'Cause this is 500. This is almost 800. Or it's 750.
You're right.
So
That
like,
one's...
have these always been low alcohol? Because I like this brand. Is it just because I like it because it's low alcohol? Okay, I think I'm gonna get these.
Just gonna get one.
Guys,
Another full one in my bag.
these are she cans for women. Good thing I'm a woman. I'll grab one of
You
these.
guys should get one too. Now I'm like, maybe I need that instead of this. Like,
I
I'm a
mean,
she.
You are a she.
I'm a she can, actually.
It's like not confirmed until you buy this.
Yes, she can.
Once we had acquired some essentials, we had another mission in mind. In order to get back over here, though, we did have to take the tram, and I just thought maybe you guys would like to see this footage.
What?
Run away with us for the summer. Let's go upstate.
It's Hamilton. You ever heard of it?
Anyways, back on task. So we wanted to ride this Ferris wheel. So we took the tram all the way from the Turn 1 tunnel back into the infield. We walked to this little fair area. We walk up to ride the Ferris wheel. And not only does this cost money, and a good amount of money too, it's also cash only, which is like every other thing in the track all weekend was please do not give us cash. So we had no cash. A problem.
Okay, so we only had $18, and we all wanted to ride the Ferris wheel, which I think is $24.
$8 per person.
So we just called Ryan, and he had $5 and a quarter, and then I found 3 more quarters. So, with our luck, we're gonna ride this fucking Ferris wheel.
That's the last thing we're doing. We're getting our asses on that Ferris wheel.
Woo! That's gonna be us.
So we get our tickets, we get on the Ferris wheel, and there is room for 4 people on the Ferris wheel. Unfortunately, there was only 3 of us, so some guy had to be like a +1 in our group on the Ferris wheel. And unfortunate for him, I did not realize until I got to the top how freaked out I'd be about the heights. It's actually really high. It's very shaky Ferris wheel. I was very freaked out. I think at one point I said, oh my God, I think I'm going to shit my pants. And I just was holding on to the white pole in the middle for dear life. So that poor guy had to be witness to that. But the view was really awesome, especially at night, watching the night racing from this Ferris wheel. Probably 100% worth the $8. And yeah, it was an experience that I definitely think was a highlight of the Rolex trip. While we were walking back to the garages, there was a large crash on track, and we weren't 100% aware of what was happening. We had to text some of our friends that were watching back home on the streaming who was involved in the crash and what was going on. But this is where I started to think that maybe the amount of access you get as an IMSA fan is borderline insane. We went to the top of the fan zone and we watched as absolute crowds and masses of people filled the garage area to try to get a glimpse of the cars that had been in the crash. But it was to the point where the tow trucks could not even operate fully in the garage area without almost hitting people. There was tow trucks coming from opposite directions and people just getting smashed between them. And there was not nearly enough IMSA employees to contain the crowds. People were getting insane throughout the weekend. Apparently, they were trying to grab pieces of cars from garages. They were even trying to grab pieces of cars that weren't even like crashes. Like they were just taking like usable parts from like Rexy's garage at one point, and the admin had to get on social media and ask them to stop. It was really cool getting to see these cars come in, see how the garage teams were, coming together and figuring out how they were going to potentially get the car back on track. It was also crazy seeing them have to get these cars off the flatbed using another tow truck. But I can't help but to think that the fans were just in the way while all of this was happening, in the way of the teams, in the way of the IMSA safety teams, the marshals, the tow trucks. So I'm really not sure if this is something that will continue in the future. I couldn't help but to think while I was watching it, like, yeah, this is probably the last time they're going to allow this. And then at 10 o'clock, the fireworks show started. And for most people, this kind of means it's time to head back to your campsite, go back to your hotel, come back the next morning. But for us, because we didn't have a hotel for this night, it meant we were in it for the long haul, and our night was just getting started. It took us forever to get back over to the grandstands because they had a bunch of random entrances closed for the night, but we finally found a spot. We got all wrapped up in our layers, and it was starting to get so cold so fast.
Okay, so I'm here in the grandstand. I don't know if you can hear me, but across the way there is karaoke. I just busted my ass to get all the way over here, and then there's karaoke over there where I just was, and I can hear it from the grandstand, which means I would have been a star if I would have went over there. I'm so upset. I'm so disappointed in myself.
This ended up being probably one of the coldest nights of my life. It just kept getting colder somehow. I started walking around and looking around at the cool stuff in the stadium to try to keep warm. And then whenever I thought maybe the bleachers are the problem, I should go into the concourse, I kind of just went in and laid on a bench for a little bit, but then people started looking at me like I was crazy, so I went back to the grandstands for a little while. And just when I thought it was too cold to handle and I didn't know how I was going to make it through the night, our friend Caleb, like an angel, told us about this free coffee that was in the concourse all the way down by section 170 where we were the day before. So we moved all of our stuff, grabbed some free coffee, and made our way back to section 170 to watch the rest of the race. And every inch that sun came up over the horizon in this morning, my quality of life got a little bit better. It got warmer. By 8 o'clock, it was literally so hot we had to take all these layers off. I got a burrito from IHOP that Sarah and Ryan brought over for us that really made me realize how hungry I was because they had closed all the restaurants at 10 p.m. And the racing got better in the morning. People started putting in those good last couple stints. They started driving really way more aggressively, and we were having the time of our life. We basically forgot immediately how hard it was to make it through the night.
All right, so all of our teams lost. Okay, that's not true, actually. My team's still in it. You guys are extra losers at the moment. Her team is 9 laps down.
Well, mine's like 100, so.
Her team was out for a full, 30 minutes, I fear.
He wasn't there full.
I think mine is just in 9th place at the moment, so maybe he'll have a hero comeback.
What happened to Colton?
Oh, Colton got back out there.
Oh, you're right.
I just feel
I fear he didn't.
I don't think he's going to win. Yeah, I don't think he's going to win.
We then waited to potentially get let into this fancy little VIP area where the podium celebrations were going to be. We did have to watch the Michelin Man kind of pace around, do a couple Costco big booms, flex in the window, and just increasingly become self-conscious of his appearance as time went on, which was a little awkward. It took them forever to get this podium celebration on the go, but I was really happy that we did it when the teams came in and we got to see them celebrate their win, and of course, confetti. Enjoyed our last couple moments at the race that we had spent the last 4 days at, and I started to get really sad realizing this was probably the best fan experience I had had. I had gotten to see so much behind the scenes of how a race weekend works for these teams, and I really grew such an appreciation for IMSA, for the Rolex 24. I really can't help but to think that this is the best way to kick off 2025 when it comes to going to races, and I am so lucky that I got to do it with the amazing fellow content creators that I've made friends with in the last 6 months while making this content. And while I missed MJ the entirety of the trip, I cannot wait for us to come back together next year. This is how fast it clears out after the race is over. All of the lively campers are gone, and you have to say bye to your friends. Thank you so much for tuning into the vlog of the Rolex 24 at Daytona, the best racing experience I've had thus far. Be sure to subscribe if you want to see future vlogs for future races we're going to, and tune into the podcast.